everyone, what is good? Welcome back to the channel. This is Silver Hyena, and for today's video I'm following up on all of these different lovely markers. Ohuhu Brush Markers, Azure Royal Langnickel alcohol-based markers, and the cheap no-name alcohol-based markers from Five Below. Same story as with the Jason Voorhees illustration. Link in the description below for those of you that are interested. But you know the thing about sequels, gotta rehash a lot of the stuff from the first one, you know. So I already know that these markers, all of them, play together quite nicely. Now then, this is another one of my favorite slashy stabby boys, Thomas Hewitt, my personal favorite version of Leatherface. Yes, I know. I like a remake better than the original? Say it isn't so. Well, yeah, I just love this guy, okay? What can I say? I just like a hard-working country boy who's family-oriented. Yes, I know Bubba Sawyer is too, and he still deserves some love. Maybe somewhere down the line I'll do a drawing of him. Post below if you would like to watch me do a drawing of some sort of the OG Leatherface. I just love hearing what you guys have to say. Anyways, I mentioned in a previous video where I gushed all over Tommy here, again, link will be in the description below, as usual, that I wanted to draw him again, and again I did. So first I'll go over the markers, just in case you missed the first video or this is your first time here, and if that's the case, then welcome, glad you're here. Those of you that have been watching me for a while already know my opinion of Ohuhu Brush Markers. That's right, they can do no wrong. Ever since the first time I used these markers, it was love at first use. Ohuhu Brush Markers are very reasonably priced and approachable to beginners. So if you've wanted to get into alcohol-based markers, but the high price tag of Copics, Winsor & Newton, or Prismacolor markers scares you away, these are a great place to start. With that being said though, I'd love to get my hands on some Copics or a set of the Winsor & Newton alcohol-based markers. I want to try out the Prismacolor markers too. I just hope they don't fall apart like their colored pencils do. Yeah, don't get me started on that. You know how I feel about broken leads. Okay, anyways. The Royal Langnickel Azure, or Azure Royal Langnickel, whatever order the name goes in, these markers are a real diamond in the rough. Extremely inexpensive and very easy to use, all things considered. When I first discovered this brand, I paid about $10 for the primary basic set at Walmart. Then quite a while later, browsing through Burlington, imagine my surprise when I stumbled upon this forest set. I'm curious about how many more sets there are in this brand. Much like with Pokemon, I want to get them all. Okay, whoa, I'm letting out a little bit of the crazy here. This is what I get when I record things at 4 in the morning, I guess. So, if you don't want to wait on shipping like with the Ohuhus, these markers aren't a bad place to start. And yet, more beginner-friendly alcohol-based markers courtesy of Five Below. These no-name, no-brand markers are only $5 per set. Now, I could only find 2 sets of 12 at my local Five Below, but I will be sure to let you know if I find even more. For the small price, these markers are very good. Not the greatest in the universe by any stretch, but a good way to get started with alcohol-based markers without breaking the bank. One thing I will mention though is that these Five Below markers do bleed on this particular paper, Canson XL mixed media paper to be exact. I did not have this issue during my original review of these markers when I did an illustration on B marker paper. So just a little thing to keep in mind. Once again, because a lot of these colors are just so bright, I used my lightest tones of cool and warm grays to dull them down. Although I think some of the colors still turned out a tad brighter than what I had originally intended. But I still find myself not minding too much. Okay, so now that I've given a quick recap of the markers, I feel like doing a speed round of bad movie reviews. You ready? Gosh, I hope you are, because I'm going in. So, the first TCM movie, the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Alrighty, here we go. Texas country boy defends his home from multiple intruders. He and his entire family are forced to move when one intruder escapes and tells the cops. The second Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I've never done any illicit substances in my life, however, this movie feels like a trip. Attempts to outdo the first movie, but doesn't quite make it. Also, I will say this. Chop Top is just a special type of crazy. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Leatherface. Why has Leatherface been reduced to an extra in his own movie? Also, Aragorn! What the heck are you doing here? Get back to Middle-earth. Frodo and the gang need you. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4, The Next Generation. Well, there's an hour and a half of my life I'm not getting back. Seriously. No, that one is just a no. just no. Okay. I'm trying to center myself. We've still got a few more of these to do. Alright. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre Remake. Okay, you can't really use the whole home defense card on this one. Texas country boy with a chainsaw on a rampage. Also, don't trust backwoods sheriffs with questionable credentials. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The beginning. Crazy Texas uncle successfully upstages his recently laid off and very upset chainsaw-wielding beast of a nephew. No, really, he does. Also, don't be afraid to try new things. Texas Chainsaw 3D. At this point, I think the writers just said, timelines? Consistency? What's that? It was just a bad, cheap, and lazy cash grab. Yet sometimes I still find myself watching it just because, so what does that make me? And lastly, Leatherface. Okay, I am ashamed to admit this, but I can't do a review on this one because I actually haven't seen the movie yet. But it's on my list. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. If I had to pick a favorite, I'd actually have to pick the beginning. Yes, I know this one gets a lot of flack, but I don't care. The beginning has my favorite Leatherface design. The one I'm drawing now, in fact. Besides, I know the pain of getting laid off from a job you actually like. I'd just like to suggest a healthier outlet to cope than, well, what happened in that movie. Yeah. Alrighty, well, that's all the time we have for today's video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So, do you enjoy my terrible movie reviews? If so, post below. Would you like me to do even more of these sorts of things? Like, I'll admit, I'm not really much of a movie reviewer, but dang it, I will give it my best shot for you if it provides you with a laugh. And with that being said, this is Silver Hyena, signing off. Stay creative, everybody. Bye!